So, you're an older man. Maybe you're in your 40, 50, or even 60. You've seen through world. You've built a life. Maybe you've raised a family. And maybe you've served a few heartbreaks, too. Then she appears. A younger woman, vibrant, full of fire, a little wild, a little mysterious. And somehow she notices you. Not just a polite smile or surface-level chatter. No, this is something real. She gives you attention, eye contact, laughter, curiosity, and suddenly, whether you say it out loud or keep it buried inside, you start to feel something awaken, something you haven't felt in years. It's flattering. It's exciting. It's electric. But this right here is where most men fall. Hard back coast. There's a very specific shift that happens when an older man becomes drawn to a younger woman. He forgets something vital. He forgets that he is already complete. He forgets the years, the scars, the wisdom, the lessons. They are his power. But in that hit off dopamine, in that rush of feeling seen again, he begins to adjust. He starts softening his edge, shrinking himself to fit inside her world. He trades his drone for her approval. And the moment that happens, the dynamic flips. She stops seeing a man and starts seeing a guy. Just another guy trying to impress, trying to be cool, trying to win her. And just like that, the attraction dies. This video isn't about judgment. It's about clarity. It's about helping protect something more important than her attention, your masculinity, your self-respect. Because this isn't just about dating. These are life strategies. If you've ever felt confused, manipulated, or thrown off course by a younger woman who hasn't lived half the life you have, then this is your wake-up call. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where men fall and how. You can rise again by doing less, not more. 1. Don't try to be her age. Rule 1. Don't try to be her age. You're not her peer, and one of the Moscow mistakes older men make when dealing with younger women is this: they try to shrink themselves into her world. They talk like her, dress like her, try to keep up with TikTok trends, use Gen Z slang, or pretend they love her at YouTube influencer, and sure, it might start with good intentions. Y'all want to connect, relate, build rapport. But what actually happens? You lose the everything that made you compelling in the first place, the moment you try to act like her equal. You lose your edge. You stop being the grounded, composed, experienced man and start being just another guy chasing her vibe and hers things. She can feel it. Even if she doesn't say it, she senses it in your energy. You women, especially younger ones, have a sixth sense for authenticity. So, when an older man tries to act cool by mirroring her lifestyle, it doesn't just feel off. It feels insecure. Your age is not a disadvantage. It's your edge. You've lived. You've failed. You've risen. You carry a deep, unshakable leprosence that only time in the trenches of life can give you. And that's what draws her in. Not your TikTok fluency, not your Netflix knowledge, or stillness, your depth, your leadership. Want a real example? Imagine Eds. You're on a date. She says, "Oh my god, I'm obsessed with this, too." 3-year-old influencer Ho gives the best advice on relationships. You couldn't pretend you know them, even pull out your phone and fake scroll. Or you could smile, lean back, and say, "I don't follow that stuff much. I prefer conversations that don't disappear in 24 hours. Boom. 1. Line. That's the difference between a man and a mimic. You didn't insult her. You didn't try to play along. You simply stood firm in your frame. That's a mystery. That's a contrast. That's magnetic because he hears the paradox. The moment you stop trying to be relatable, you become a rule too. Don't be her emotional sponge. 2. Don't be her emotional sponge. Another trap older men walk into without even realizing it is becoming the emotional sponge. It starts innocently. She opens up, talks about her toxic ex, her absent father, her mental health struggles, the pressure she feels trying to find herself. And because you're older, wiser, more emotionally available, you listen. You feel for her. You think maybe she sees something in me she can't find in boys her age. But slowly you stop being a man she's attracted to and become her therapist. Her crisis hotline, her emotional punching bag. She dumps her storms on you at midnight and you pick up every time because you believe you're connecting. You think if I'm the only one who understands her, she chews. But shouldn't, because this isn't romantic bonding. It's emotional outsourcing. You're not her safe place. You're her emotional safety net. You're giving her stability, but instead of feeling attracted to your strength, she starts treating you like her support system. That's not love. That's convenient. Here's the brutal truth. If you mistake emotional caretaking for romantic attraction, if you're going to end up in the friend zone, wearing a suit that looks like love. She keep talking about the guy who wasted her. She'll cry on your shoulder when things fall apart and then she'll disappear for days when she's happy that you're not her partner. You're her reset button, but a Stoic man. He doesn't get pulled into chows to feel needed. He doesn't try to fix it. He doesn't try to carry burdens that aren't his. He is calm simply by being calm. He offers presence, not prescriptions. He listens without losing himself. Here's what that looks like in action. She calls you crying, frustrated, spiraling over. Her late meltdown. Old you would jump in. What happened? Are you okay? What can I do? But the Stoic you simply say, that sounds like a lot. I hope you give yourself space to figure it out. Boom. That line, it tells her you represent but untouchable. You're not jumping in to fix her. You're not rushing to become her hero. You're not absorbing her mess. You're holding your peace because your peace is your standard. And that's what makes a woman sit up. Not because she can pull you in, but because she can't. Rule 3, don't chase her. 3, don't chase her validation. Validation. You are a man over 40. You've built things. You've lost things. You've suffered, rebuilt, and lived enough to know who you are. So why do so many men your age find themselves shrinking in the presence of a younger woman's attention, trying to earn her approval like a teenage boy desperate to be noticed? This is where so many guys fall into the trap. So they confuse attraction with validation. They start performing, laughing too hard at her jokes, texting just a little too fast, saying yes when they mean no. Not because they're genuinely interested, but because they're afraid to lose her attention. And guess what? The moment you chase her validation, you stop being attractive. You've handed her all the power. You've shifted from being the grounded, composed man she was curious about to a dancing puppet trying to please. Let's call this what it is: emotional begging. It's the subtle energy that says, do you still like me? Am I still good enough? Please say yes. And no matter how well dressed or financially successful you are, that energy is deeply unattractive. Not because she's mean or manipulative, but because biologically women are wired to respond to strength, to direction, to presence, not to insecurity, hiding under charm. Now, here's the twist. Young women often test for this. It's not even conscious. It's in the small things. The accidental flake on apron, the teasing comment, the delayed text response, and when you overreact, when you double text, get netty, or subtly seek reassurance. You've shown your hand, and she loses interest. This isn't about playing games. It's about owning your center, or validation should never be your compass. You've already walked too far in life to hand over your sense of worth for a hit dopamine from a 26-year-old who doesn't even know what she wants for dinner. Think about it like this. Chasing validation makes you reactive. Stoicism makes you rooted. A Stoic man understands that his value isn't determined by a smirk, a text, or a compliment. He doesn't need constant affirmation because his self-respect comes from within, not from the shifting winds of someone else's mood. Let me tell you something. Most men realize too late. Women don't fall for the guy who tries to impress them. They fall for the guy who impresses himself. The man who's in his own rhythm. The one who can sit across from her, enjoy her beauty and still walk away unfazed. If the vibe isn't right, that man, magnetic, rare, unforgettable. So here's the practice. Next time you feel that itch, I hope she texts back. I wonder what she meant by that. Should I say something funny towing her over? Pause. Breathe. Remind yourself that I do not need her to reflect my worth back to me. The more you can detach from her validation, the more power you reclaim. The more you ground yourself in your own standards, the more naturally she feel drawn toward you. Not because you're chasing, but because you've become still. Stillness is masculine. It invites. It doesn't pursue approval. It allows attraction to flow, not before said. And when a younger woman feels that when she sees a man who refuses to dance for her approval, she starts chasing your validation, not out of manipulation, but because you've baked the mountain in the room. And everything feminine is drawn to the mountain. That's the shift. Now, if any of this hit home, if you've ever caught yourself reaching just a bit too hard for a woman's response, trying to be liked, let it be a moment of clarity, not shame. The power is still in your hands, and trust me, once you stop chasing validation, you'll stop attracting women who demand it. Choose self-respect. Drop that in the comments if you're done handing script. Same dinner, same woman. But now, you're not trying to sell anything. You're listening more than you speak. When you talk, it's with calm certainty. You share your values, your outlook, your sense of humor. Not to win her over, but because that's who you are. Now she's leaning in, not because you're flashy, but because you're steady. You're not there to impress. You're there to connect or walk away if there's no match. That mindset is powerful. And younger women pick upon it instantly. The man who doesn't try is the man who naturalius. It all goes back to Stoicism. A Stoic man doesn't enter the room wondering how can I stand out. He enters with this question. Am I aligned with who I say I am? He's no tempressed by himself, so he doesn't need anyone else to be either. His presence speaks before he says a word. And here's the plot twist. Most men never see coming. The less you try to impress her, the more impressive you become. Because in a world full of filters, highlight reels, and peacocking, authenticity is magnetic. Quiet confidence hits harder than loud achievement. So, how do you practice this? Start by noticing when you're shifting into performative mode. When you start adjusting your story, dropping names, flexing achievements, pause. Ask yourself, who am I trying to convince right now? Then come back to your center, the real you, the one who doesn't need applause to feel worthy. Instead of saying I did all this amazing stuff, say this is what I believe. Instead of look what I have, say here's how I live. Because what makes you attractive isn't the resume, it's the rhythm. The man who leads his life like a quiet storm. Unshakable. Present, unapologetic life hymns. I am enough already. Type it in the comments if that hit home for you. And if you're wondering how this subtle shift in energy unlocks a deeper, more primal level of attraction in younger women, keep watching. The next part might just change how you carry yourself forever. Rule 5, don't project. 5. Don't project. Long-term fantasies. Long-term fantasies. Let's talk about one of the easiest traps a man over 40 can fall into, especially when he's dating a younger woman. It starts off simple. The energize new, exciting, you've got chemistry. She laughs at your jokes. She compliments your experience. She says things like, I've never met someone like you before. And just like thought, you're already in your head. Building castles. You imagine taking her to that villa in Italy next summer. You picture her on your arm at your friend's wedding. Maybe you even see yourself walking away from your old life just to build a new one with her. But here's the danger. None of that is real. It's not grounded in her. It's built entirely on your fantasy. And the second you project that fantasy onto her, she feels it. She might not say it out loud, but something shifts. She starts to pull back. She gets colder, less engaged. Why? Because you stopped seeing her as a person and started seeing her as a potential future. When you're over 40, you've got wisdom, resources, and a deeper sense of direction. That's powerful, but it also means your desire for emotional certainty is stronger. You're not just looking for fun, you're looking for meaning, and that's okay. What's not okay is placing that burden on someone who hasn't earned it. When a younger woman senses that you've already imagined your shared future, she doesn't feel flattered. She feels pressured, she feels like you've already made her choice for her. And here's the part most men miss: women don't fall in love through planning. They fall in love through presence. She wants to feel your attention in the moment. Your grounded energy, your ability to be with her, not a head offer. The second you're projecting a story into the future, you're no longer with her. You're in your own head and she can feel the gap. It's not about being cold or guarded. It's about being rooted in what is not what could be. A Stoic man understands this. He knows that desire for control over outcome over emotion is an illusion. He doesn't chase certainty. He embraces clarity in the present moment. Because when you're clear with yourself, you don't need fantasies. You need reality. So, here's the shift. Stop asking, where could this go? Start asking, who am I when I am with her? If being with her makes you feel more grounded, more alive, more like yourself, great. Stay present, enjoy it. But if you're always reaching hoping she'll fill some emotional gap, make your life exciting again or save you from your own boredom, you're not in love. You're just addicted to the idea of her. And women can feel when they're being idolized instead of truly seen, especially younger women, they're intuitive like that. The second she senses that you've made her your dream instead of your partner, she back away because she doesn't want to be the destination. She wants to be part of the journey. Let her reveal herself step by step. Let the connection breathe. Let it grow or fade naturally. Don't force permanence into something still fragile. Don't plan the next year when you've only shared a few weeks. Don't assume just because she's here now she'll when you're 60. Because here's the truth. You don't need to know how I tend. You just need to be strong enough to handle whatever happens next. And the man who stays present, unattached to outcome, curious but unclinging, that man is rare. That man is remembered. That man is respected. I don't chase fantasy. If that resonates, drop it in the comments. Let it be your mantra and keep watching because the next rule, it's the one that flips the entire power dynamic without saying a single word. Rule 6, don't be her backup plan. Let's talk 6. Don't be her backup plan. About one of the most dangerous spots a man can find himself in, especially when he's dating a younger woman. The backup spot. You know what I'm talking about. You're not officially her boyfriend, but still texts you when she's bored. She still keeps you close. Just close enough to not lose you, but never close enough to commit. You're the one she vents to when a real love interest disappears. You're the one she flirts with when she's between guys. You're the one she turns to when she needs comfort. But not when she wants passion. If you're not her man, you're her safety net. And brother, that is the fastest way to lose your self-respect and hers. Here's the thing. A lot of older men walk right into this trap with open arms. Why? Because she's young, she's beautiful, and the attention feels good. You think maybe if I just stay patient, play it cool, be there for her, eventually she'll come around. Spoiler alert, she won't. 'Cause here's what you need. Town or stand out, a woman never falls for her backup plan. She falls for the man she can't quite figure out. The one who doesn't wait in the wings hoping for a chance. The one who doesn't let her use a him as an emotional placeholder while she shops for someone more exciting. When you allow yourself to be her plan B, you're telling her without ever saying it that you don't value yourself enough to walk away. And women pick up on that. The man with self-respect doesn't compete for attention. Commands it by walking away when it's not freely given. Now, some guys hear this and say, but we've got chemistry. Sure, maybe you don't. But chemistry without clarity is just chaos. If she can't decide whether she wants you, that is her decision. Let's put it in Stoic terms. You don't control her feelings. You only control your standards. You get to decide whether he'll be the guy she calls at 11 p.m. after her date with someone else, flops, or whether you'll be the guy who don't answer. And don't kid yourself into thinking that being the nice guy now will earn you love later. That's not how attraction works. Traction is built on tension, not availability. On emotional labor, on respect, not convenience. Respect hint. Grow. In a dynamic where she knows you'll always be there no matter how she treats you. So, if you feel like you're in that gray zone, ask yourself, does she only reach out when she needs something? Has she made it clear what she wants, or are you constantly trying to decode her? Do you feel energized after you talk to her or just drained? If you answered yes to any of that, you're not building a relationship. You're holding a spot she hasn't offered you. The fix isn't to confront her or plead for clarity. It's to make a decision. Decide that you won't be a man who waits for crumbs. Decide that your time, your energy, and your presence are not tools for her convenience. Decide it. You are the main character in your own life, not an extra in someone else's. Because the moment you stop laying the background, she has to deal with the silence you leave behind. And that silence, that's where respect is born. You're not punishing her. You're prioritizing yourself. You're saying, I'm not here to be your emotional cushion. I'm here to build something real or nothing at all. And that's what makes you unforgettable. You're not here to be chosen when all the other options fail. You're not the maybe later guy. You're the now or never man. I know my lie value. If that hits home, drop it in Thecamans. Let that be your truth and stay close, because the next rule it exposes the exact behavior that makes younger women test older men and how to pass every time. Rule 7, never lose your mission for her. Let's get this 7. Never lose your mission for her. Straight. You didn't come this far in life over 40 years of struggle, growth, and self-mastery just to abandon your mission for a pretty face. And yet, too many men fall into this exact trap, especially when that face belongs to a younger woman whose energy feels electric, and whose attention feels like oxygen. You start strong, focused, centered, disciplined. But slowly, your habits shift. You used to hit the gym at 6 a.m. Now you sleep in because she wants to cuddle. You used to spend evenings working on your business or passion project. Now you cancel. Because your life demands it. If you already know it, protect it like your life depends on it. 'Cause in many ways, it does. Your sense of purpose is your compass. Lose it and you drift. Keep it and you lead. That doesn't mean you become emotional navel. It means you never make her more important than your growth. If she's texting while you're in your creative zone, respond later. If she wants your full attention while you're focused, set a boundary. If she tests you by pulling away to get our action, stay in frame. She'll notice. And if she's worth keeping, she'll respect it. But if she resents your mission, she's not the one. You don't dim your lights. So somebody else can feel secure. You turn up the brightness and let them rise or walk away. A younger woman might not say it out loud, but she feels the difference between a man who leads and a man who follows her lead. One triggers her desire, the other triggers her boredom. So ask yourself, are you living for her approval or your legacy? Because when you stay on mission, 3 things happen. 1. You stay magnetic. Women are drawn to men who are becoming, not just being. 2. You earn respect. Your boundaries make her lean in, not pull away. 3. You grow with or without her. You move forward. This isn't about playing games. It's about protecting your masculine core. Because the moment you bend your path to chase her, you look the very thing that made her look your way in the first place. I lead my life. If that's your code, too, type I10 in the comments. Let the world know. And hold tight, because the next rule. It's about the exact signal older men send without knowing that instantly kills the traction. Rule 8, be the rock, not the puppet. 8. Be the rock, not the puppet. Let's be honest, in relationships, especially with younger women, it's easy to get caught in emotional turbulence. One minute she's warm and playful, the next distant or annoyed. You start wondering, did I say something wrong? Should I fix this? Should I chasten right there? You lose your grounding. You become reactive. You go from man-top puppet. But here's the key difference. The puppet dances to her moods. The rock stays centered. You want her to feel safe around you, desired, drawn in over and over again. Don't mirror her chaos. Ground her with your calm. It's not just about emotional strength. It's about emotional leadership. When her energy is all over the place, she's unconscious lighting something. Can you hold your frame? Can you be still when she's spinning? Because if you can't, Shelley's is trust, not logically, but viscerally. Her attraction fades. Not boach. You aren't kind or generous, but because you're no longer solid. You've become moldable, shaped by her storms. Stoicism isn't about pretending emotions don't exist. It's about choosing which ones you let drive your decisions, and women respect a man who doesn't flinch every time they throw a spark. You see, many younger women are still exploring their emotions, trying to understand identity. That exploration often comes with uncertainty, hot and cold behavior, testing boundaries, pushing limits. If you react to every wave, you'll drown in her ocean. But if you anchor yourself, you give her something powerful, stability. That's what the rock is. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about being unshakable. When she gets upset, you didn't explode, you listen. Assess. Speak clearly. When she flirts with drama, you didn't feed it. You let the silence speak. When she pulls away to get a reaction, you stay centered, unmoved, grounded in self-respect. And here's the paradox. The more you remain grounded, the more emotionally safe she feels to relax and trust. Not because you fixed her emotions, but because you didn't get pulled into them. On the flip side, when a man becomes the puppet doing what he thinks will keep her happy at any given moment, he loses his edge. He apologizes too fast. He compromises too often. He breaks his values just to avoid conflict. And every time he bends like that, she pulls the strings a little more until she loses all desire 'cause she doesn't want to lead. She wants to lead emotionally, energetically, spiritually. You've probably seen Ethepin, the older guy who starts dating a younger woman and suddenly becomes I's man. He changes his style, his opinions, even his friends just to keep her interested. It doesn't work. It never does because underneath all that performative approval seeking is fear, and nothing repels feminine energy like succulent fear. So how do you become the rock? You define your boundaries and stick to them. You hold your values even when they clash with her mood. You speak with clarity, not with apology. You trust your path, not her reactions. You don't have to wrestle voice. You don't have to argue or dominate. You just have to be still in your truth. She'll feel it. She might push against it, but she'll respect it. And that respect, that's the foundation of deep attraction. Here's what it really comes down to. She can't shake show. She can't trust you. If you can hold still, even when she's testing every angle of your strength, then show knows you're real. So don't be the puppet jumping to please, to fix, top rove. BetaRock.com collected Untouchable by Petty Storms. That's how you win her admiration, and that's how you keep your self-respect. You don't flinch. That line hits you. Type 110. The comments. It's more than a phrase. It's a mindset, and stay with me because next we'll break down the hidden trap most men fall into when trying to understand her better. It feels noble, but it quietly kills attraction. Rule 9, stop buying her time. Let's 9, stop buying her time. Get this out of the way. She already knows your value isn't measured by how much you spend on her. Still, too many men, especially older men dating younger women, fall into the same trap, trying to buy their way into her affection. Dinner here, a gift there, a surprise trip. It starts subtle. It feels generous. But beneath it, there's often a quiet fear. If I don't keep this up, she might lose interest. That fear makes you transactional. You stop being a man she's drawn to. And you start becoming a wallet she tolerates. And the worst part, she might smile. She might say, thank you. But deep down, respect starts to fade. Because here's the truth. When a woman truly wants you, she doesn't care what you can buy her. She craves your presence, not your presence. Now don't get it twisted. There's nothing wrong with generosity. What kills attraction is conditional giving, giving to get. When you start using money or attention to earn her time, you lose alge. You're no longer the chooser. You're the applicant. She doesn't need a man who's trying to win her with effort. She wants a man who knows his time is already valuable with or without her in it. So what's the play? Set boundaries with your energy. Let your time feel earned, not bought. If she flakes, don't thwart her with more. She's lukewarm. Don't chase. Harder if you feel shelly sticking around for the perks. Cut the perks. Women respect men who know when to pull back. They may not say it out loud, but emotional detachment when done from strength, not spite, is one of the most powerful moves you can make. So, stop trying to buy your way into her world. Instead, make her earn a place in yours. 'Cause when a woman senses that you give not from insecurity, but from abundance on your terms, then the dynamic shifts. If you become the man she wants to invest in, not the uninvesting just to stay relevant. TW won't buy love that speaks to you. Drop it in the comments loud and clear. And don't go anywhere. We're about to talk about the one thing that kills your power faster than anything else in this dynamic. Stay tuned. 10. Let her earn your depth. Rule 10. Let her earn your depth. Here's something most men never hear enough. You don't owe anyone full access to your soul, especially not right away. When you're older, especially over 40, you've seen things. You've been through storms. You've built, lost, rebuilt. Your depth is hard-earned. It's not for free. But when you meet a younger woman who's attractive, full of energy, maybe a bite and predictable, it's tempting to give her everything to show her how emotional I valued you are. To open up your story, your values, your pain, your past. Don't. Because while vulnerability is powerful when it's earned, it's repelling when it's dumped too soon. Why? Because women don't fall in love with your history, they fall in love with your mystery. Giving too much of your emotional world too soon flips the dynamic. It makes her the one evaluate Tinju. Puts her in the role of the emotionally superior guide. And just like that, she's no longer intrigued. She's bored. But when you stay composed, grounded, selective with your emotional energy, you become magnetic. Hey, man. One knows his depth is rare. A man who doesn't flaunt it. That's powerful. You didn't need to explain yourself endlessly. You don't need to. Prove you're emotionally intelligent by oversering. Let her ask. Let her wonder. Let her earn the next layer. The right woman. One who's truly into you won't run from that. She lean in. She respect that your trust is sacred, not automatic. And when you finally open up, it'll hit different. She'll know it mattered. So don't hand her the keys to your inner world on day one. Be kind. Be composed up, be curious. But keep your center solid. Your depth is not a sales pitch. It's airword. I protect my energy. If that resonates, you know what to do in these, and remember, you are the prize always. You've just heard 10 rules. That Don single quotes to conclusion just protect you. They elevate you. Because in a world that's trying to sell you on tricks, gimmicks, and cheap approval, the real power move is stillness, presence, boundaries. Especially with younger women who are used to men folding fast. Remember this. You are not here to impress. You are here to lead with calm, with purpose, with edge. You've made it this far. It means you're serious, ABO.